Hello friends, picked up a little motovlogging setup. Decided if I'm going to spend this much time out on the road, might as well document some of my adventures. So I've got a camera strapped to my face and a microphone stuffed in my helmet. We're cruising at a good clip here, so it might be a little bit noisy. But long story short, I'm going to be doing a lot of riding over the next couple months, on-road, off-road. It's definitely going to be dependent on the weather. But I'm working on building up my skills, specifically in off-road riding. I've been riding street bikes for years, but I'm new to the world of adventure riding and dirt riding because I want to do something called the Pennsylvania Wilds BDRX. And what that basically is, it's kind of like the Appalachian Trail of motorcycling. Where's that road at? It's right here somewhere. Ah, it's up here, okay. Yeah, so the Backroad Discovery Routes is an organization that identifies routes all over the country where you can get off-road but still be legal. These are publicly accessible off-road riding areas of sorts. And lots of adventure motorcyclers and ATV guys, side-by-sides, get off on these routes and go explore. Now, I've not spent much time on the dirt, so I'm still working on developing those skills. So over the next couple weeks, we'll be riding around a bunch, exploring areas, trying, but not trying too hard to avoid trespassing, and getting out in the sticks a little bit. Once I feel like my skills on the off-road side of things are up to snuff, we'll head out to central Pennsylvania and do the BDRX PA Wilds. It's about a 4-day loop, I think. A lot of guys do it moto camping style. I think for me, if I'm going to get out there and ride hard all day, probably in the cold, I think I'm going to want to be able to get back to a hotel and have maybe a hot shower and some cooked food. So I think for the first go around, we'll probably stick to the good old Hilton Honors points. But maybe eventually, as I do it a little bit more, we'll build out a moto camping kit, sleeping pad, and, you know, tent and the like, and maybe even do some moto camping. In the meantime, though, we're just going to stick to riding, visiting the local coffee shops, eating all manner of unhealthy gas station food, and just having a good old time. We're roaming around. Motorcycling is kind of a bad decision, right? It's like certainly not the safest way to travel, but it's so damn fun. This bike gets like 50 miles to the gallon. You can take it lots of places I can't take my other bike. There's a lot of little opportunities for little side roads you can cut off onto and do some exploring. And honestly, it's just been a total blast. After owning Harleys for years, getting onto a Japanese bike has just been a joy. I can order parts at reasonable prices. I can work on the thing myself. It's not trying to shake itself to pieces. You know, I could pack my entire life on this thing and hit the road and disappear for weeks if I care to do that. So it's kind of what we're looking at here. This is a little dirt road I've found that's publicly accessible, and it's quite nice little straightaway, a couple of little 90-degree turns. Just a really good opportunity to get my chops up on riding off-road. Still kind of on my baby legs. I feel like I got to have a couple of close calls before I'm really comfortable, you know, almost eating shit and then recovering. But hopefully we'll be as insulated from too much danger as possible. Once we get up to this little intersection here, we'll hop off the bike and do a little bike tour. show you the steed here. One of my favorite things about these bikes is getting out of the saddle and standing up. It's sort of necessary on some of these bouncy roads. You kind of get your legs involved to help along with the suspension. And it's just a blast. Standing up on this thing, flying through the air like this, 50 miles an hour, you just feel like Superman. It's just too much fun. And for the cost of, you know, a $7 tank of gas, you could be out here having an absolute blast. And who doesn't love that? So let's park the pig here. I'll shut her down and throw out the kickstand. So this is the bike. It's a 2024 KLR 650S. The S stands for Short King because it's the lowered version. And my legs weren't quite long enough to get a good tow down on the non-S equivalent. Not too many mods from stock. Tank bag, Harbor Freight knockoff Pelican box for random gear. Put some crash bars on it. As you can see, the ones on this side have already done their job in protecting the fairing of the bike and probably a little bit of my leg. Had to replace the stock foot pegs because those were like ice skating the second you got water on them. Here, the passenger pegs here are the same ones. This rubber here, once it's wet, is like, you might as well be standing on Crisco. So that wasn't doing it. Upgraded to what they call a one-finger clutch. The idea there is it's just going to fatigue your hand a little bit less when you're off-road and constantly in and out of the clutch there. But yeah, next order of business is probably some handlebar protectors. They call them bark busters. It's just a bar that'll come around here, and that way when you go down, you don't have as high of a chance of bending your brake lever or your clutch lever, because when you're out in the sticks, the less damage you do to the motorcycle, the better chance you got of getting back home. I got some risers on the windshield because the stock windshield would normally go this way, and it wasn't really cutting it. The wind would kind of go right over top of it and smack you right in the face. Oh, hey, bud. What are you doing? That's not a flower. That's a motorcycle. Yeah, the wind would just cut right over this thing and smack you right in the forehead. So this guy is kind of elevated, and now it scoops the wind up and over my head a little bit, so I'm not getting as bounced around in windy conditions. Put a quad lock cell phone mount on here. Phone's looking a little dusty, but that's going to be for directions and stuff. Probably going to look at an aftermarket GPS unit because the phone is all right, but doesn't really cut it when you're way off-road and you want to upload custom maps. On the routes I'm talking about, you're not really going to be using Google Maps. So yeah, this is the old girl, and she'll be dragging me all over. We'll be having lots of adventures together. Season's almost out, but I'll be riding as long as the weather doesn't make it too miserable. As soon as you stop having fun, that's when I'll stop riding. But yeah, come along for the ride.